Alright, so let's delve right into the season 3 finale of The Mandalorian. I'm going to do a quick recap this week just because I think it was a fairly easy finale to understand. So we pick up right off where the last episode left off, with Bo-Katan and the other Mandalorians trying to escape from Moff Gideon and his forces. So we cut between her and Din Djarin escaping the other Beskar troopers, and they are definitely not Dark Troopers. They're just Beskar troopers, so there you go, clarification. So Din escapes the troopers with the help of Grogu coming to his rescue, and they basically go track down Moff Gideon, and he is also tracking them down. Axe from last week, yeah, still a silly name. He gets to the other Mandalorians in space and convinces them all to help the Mandalorians on the ground. So we get some pretty great shots of all the Mandalorians in the air going down to the ground to help out Bo and the other Mandalorians. We then have a great sequence of Din just mowing down the Beskar troopers two at a time with those red ray shields, which was like a really great sequence, just him actually showing he's a competent fighter, because, you know, throughout the series, whenever he's taken surprise, he is like really bad. But when he's actually prepared, he is one of the best fighters I think we've seen in Star Wars. Obviously, who isn't a Jedi? We also find out that Moff Gideon has been cloning himself. So this past 3 seasons has just been building with the cloning plotline, and all it is Moff Gideon is cloning himself with the Force so he can become the ultimate trooper. Which is slightly less nefarious than I thought, but I guess it does make sense. It does make him a little bit less greedy, because I thought he was trying to give himself the Force or something, but he is doing it in the Empire, so it makes him slightly less evil in my eyes. Anyway, they get to Moff Gideon's control center, and they're ambushed. Who could have seen that? Everyone did. So Grogu stay behind while Din and Moff Gideon have a skirmish. And then we see Bo-Katan and all the Mandalorians raining down on the Beskar troopers. And oh my goodness, having that shot of them going up and down, facing each other, absolutely beautiful. Anyway, so Moff Gideon and Din Djarin are having a fight, and the Praetorians come in because, you know, Moff Gideon doesn't like to play fair, and they're about to kill Din Djarin when suddenly Grogu appears. Whoa! So then the Praetorian guards chase after Grogu. They try to get him, as Din continues to fight Moff Gideon. Then Bo-Katan shows up with the Darksaber and takes over the fight with Moff Gideon as Din Djarin goes to help Grogu face the Praetorian guards. It was really great seeing them work together. You could really tell that they just knew what each other was going to do and worked really great as a team, which we'll get to later because there's a really cute moment later on. Anyway, Bo and Gideon are fighting and he crushes the Darksaber. Shock, horror! Also, just while we're here, it's pretty cool to see that the Dark Trooper robots were incorporated into his suit, because every time Moff Gideon moves, you can hear the robotic whirring that really enhances his strength, making him a much more formidable opponent. So he crushes the lightsaber, he's about to kill Bo, and then Din and Grogu appear, shooting him down. Just as they're about to get him, all the other Mandalorians clear out as a giant light cruiser crashes down into the Imperial base. Which, you know, the explosion instantly kills Moff Gideon, or so we think, and Grogu saves Din and Bo from the explosion, because, you know, the Force. So, Gideon's dead, Imperial Remnant has seemingly been destroyed from Mandalore, and we have Mandalorians taking back their home. And then we see not only Grogu becoming an apprentice Mandalorian, but he also officially becomes the son of Din Djarin, and now his name is Din Grogu. Which, oh my god, with how much they've grown together, it's nice to see that they're officially a family. Thank God. So anyway, with Grogu now being an apprentice, they have to go on adventures to make sure Grogu proves he is a Mandalorian, which it is a bit weird he doesn't get a helmet, but whatever. To make sure they get money, Din offers himself as a contractor to the New Republic, specifically just in the Outer Rim, and they get a nice cozy base in Navarro where they can just chill out together as a family. They also get the head of an IG droid and make IG-11 the new Marshal of Navarro, which is good to see. But really, the end of this, not only season, but also these 3 series, is just Grogu and Din actually being a family together. Now, this episode, I think, was a fairly insular episode. When you compare it to the season 2 finale, where it's very big, you have Luke coming in, you have all these characters coming together from different walks of life. And season 2 in particular just felt very much like a spin-off season where they have Ahsoka coming in, they have Bo coming, they have all these different people coming in and told a lot of different stories, whereas this season and this finale felt very insular, very focused on the Mandalorian story rather than all these other stories, and I think it really worked. I know a lot of shows tend to get bigger in scope as they go on. Whereas like The Mandalorian Season 1 was very focused on Din Djarin. Season 2, it got a lot bigger, introduced a lot more characters. Season 3, it did introduce more characters, but it scaled back down towards just feeling very focused on the Mandalorians rather than focusing on a lot of other things. It didn't have characters who are getting spin-off shows or anything. It was just very focused on Din Djarin and the Mandalorians, which I think really, really worked. I also want to mention I actually got to see the finale in cinemas. I won some tickets to a fan screening in Melbourne, so me and my friend Michael, who hadn't seen any of The Mandalorian, went to see the last 2 episodes in cinemas, and oh boy, it was a really great experience. Just seeing those final battles on the big screen was really, really cool, and I'm so glad I managed to win those tickets. And on top of that, we also got some merch! So now I guess I'm a Disney shill. We got a lanyard, we got popcorn, we got some toys, we got a poster. What more do you want? Disney, give me money! So anyway, this is a shorter review, but I think it's a fairly straightforward episode. That being said, it was a really great finale. Just really upping the stakes, having really great action sequences, and had a very closed-off ending. Now, obviously, they can definitely continue the adventures of Din Djarin and Grogu, but if they don't, that'd be good, because the way that they ended it was open-ended enough, but it just felt complete. So if they do end it, I'm not going to be that sad. But, we're definitely going to get them back, with the Dave Filoni movie and everything. But yeah, what do you think? Let me know below, and I'll see you next time when the adventure continues.